Everything's on fire. Oh God, it's all coming apart. So, instead of having a normal episode up today, I'm just doing a quick off-the-cuff vlog because with moving and being in haunted house season, she works at a local haunted house, and everything else going on, couldn't get to recording anything until last minute last night, but then everything fell apart. My son threw up on the bed. Nothing was working. So this is what we got for you last minute. But the good news is this is the kind of production quality you expect from me. So instead of anything normal, I'm just going to go ahead and think of, off the top of my head, why the hell not, my favorite JoJo's in order. So the right off the bat, I'd have to say my least favorite JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and this is not an insult in any way. I like them all. This is a worst of the best kind of scenario. My least favorite is Johnny, and I know that's going to get a lot of spurn, a lot of backlash. I don't like Johnny as much as any of the others because straight up, he's just an asshole. But he's also the least quote unquote good of them all, and the fact that he is an alternate version of Jonathan, the original JoJo, but has none of his gentlemanly qualities, none of his nobility behind him, just really sours him for me. Next up is JoTaro, another unpopular decision, I'm sure. JoTaro is, for his main part, is just very standoffish to me, and in a series where almost everybody wins through amazing tactics, through incredibly well put together fights, I feel like JoTaro almost always wins just by simply being better. Being faster, stronger, just straight up being better. There's a couple exceptions, of course, but in general, I don't like his attitude. I don't like how he usually just wins by winning. And Star Platinum is boring to me. That said, parts 4 and 6, I find him so much better as he matures with age. Next up would be Jotaro's daughter, Jolene. I just don't really have a whole lot to say about Jolene. I definitely find her better than the two below, but Stone Free is fantastic. I love Stone Free. But in general, I feel like Araki just doesn't know how to do female characters as well, so there was a lot of wasted potential with Jolene. But her very sex-positive attitude is great. Her abilities are fantastic. Her personality is good. But she really dropped the ball towards the end of her part when she had basically nothing to do with defeating Poochie, which goes against Araki's own process of the hero has to be able to work alone. So, Jolene Cujo, third from the bottom. Up from there is Gappy. And I gotta say, Gappy is only there because his part's not done yet, and there's a lot that I just we don't know about how things are going to end yet. So he's right there in the middle, mostly just as I reserve judgment for how things may change. But Soft and Wet is amazing. His plunder ability is so cool, and this, in general, Gappy is really great, and I like how like Johnny, he is a lot less forgiving and more he's more just straight up efficient and brutal, and how he takes care of his enemies for sure, while still having some of that Josuke niceness to him. So Gappy right there in the middle. Right above that would be Giorno. Giorno is very one note to me, and that's why he's not a bit higher. I love his life abilities and how his stand is physically a lot weaker than the rest. So he uses the life ability in a lot more creative ways. Becoming the godfather of the mafia, as far as life goals, not my cup of tea for the most part. And then, of course, there's the whole Gold Experience Requiem, where he basically becomes the most powerful character to ever exist in anything. But that felt like a really cheap way to end Diavolo. But in general, his attitude is good. His morality and his moral stances are great. Giorno Giovanna, fantastic. Up from Giorno is Joseph. And I gotta say, I'm one of those people who likes old Joseph better than young Joseph, after he's had some time to mellow out, but he's still got a lot of goofiness to him. Joseph was the first Joestar after Jonathan, and he established the line that the JoJos from now on weren't going to be the absolute pinnacle of human morality, but would be flawed, would have lots of attitude. And he's just fun. He's just straight up fun. Everything that he does is great just for the humor value, and I love Joseph for that. And he's the only one who doesn't die in early age, so he's got that going for him. Most long-lived Joestar. So, from Joseph, let me make sure that so I've covered all but the last two. So, at the very tippy top, I can never decide between Jonathan and Josuke. They always flip around depending on the day. They're both great. A lot of people think that Jonathan is too Superman-esque, in that he's always going to do the right thing. He's always a good guy, and that's boring. I don't think that those kinds of people understand what it really means to be the quote-unquote superhero, to be the cape mentality. Especially for someone in his position, where for most of his life he lived with somebody who made his life an absolute hell in every sense of the word, but still found the strength of soul to treat that person with respect, even as life brought them on the path to killing each other. And that takes a kind of inner strength that is to be admired. And it sure as hell is not easy. Josuke is, on a similar level, one of the most moral of all the JoJos. And I love him for it. But also, like, he's a regular high school kid who's not caught up in the shenanigans that all the others are. You know, at his age, his father Joseph was traveling the world to save it from the Pillar Men. Jolene was, at his age, is in prison having to save the world from Dio's boyfriend. And Giorno, at, you know, a year younger, is going all over Italy to take over the mob. And Josuke he's a high school kid just trying to live his high school life. He's definitely the most small time of the JoJos for sure, and he deals with the most small time problem, which is just shenanigans around town and having to deal with a local serial killer. But he's nice, but still mischievous, the kind that you would expect from a kid. And his stand, Crazy Diamond, is my favorite JoJo stand. My favorite stand is Sticky Fingers, Bucciarati's, but my favorite stand from a JoJo is Josuke's. And the way he uses it is amazing to me. So there you go. In order of least to most, my favorite JoJos. Sorry that this was so off the cuff, but hey, you know, when life decides to burn everything down, film the fire, right? All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you have a favorite JoJo, comment below. Like and subscribe if this was entertaining to you in any way. Dear God, I hope it was. Yeah, because if this was entertaining to you, my normal material should hopefully just blow your socks off. So, have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, I'll close it out with a great cheer. Hell yeah!